This video is my testimony about my parasite cleanse, all right? Because I just did a parasite cleanse and this came out of me, which was disturbing. It was like a snake, okay? Over 12 inches long. It had a head on it, for Christ's sake. It is disturbing. Now, it's crazy because when you tell people this and like you show them, like, look what came out of my body, and the first thing that people say is, oh my God, you should go to the doctor. And this is where I laugh, because in America, if I went to the doctor and said, listen, this is what I'm shitting out, this is what I'm doing parasite cleanse, their heads would spin. I would be told, oh, don't do that. You shouldn't be doing that. You should do none of that. Why do you think you have parasites? And I'd say, because I'm bloated, because I was bloated for like a year at least. I wasn't, going to the bathroom just wasn't, I wasn't going as nearly as often or as well. No matter what I did, I couldn't like get under 190 pounds. It was just a nightmare. I felt like shit, tired all the time, headaches. I could go on with the symptoms, but that's what I was feeling. I've done so much research, so I decided to do the parasite cleanse, and I did the wormwood black walnut cleanse with the activated charcoal. And excuse me, I feel 1,000 times better, and that stuff came out of me. Here's my thoughts, like, and this is just my own opinion. I beg everyone, no one should believe anything I say. I don't want anyone to believe me. I want people to do their own research and learn, okay? But I find it fascinating that other countries, other people do parasitic cleanses. Parasites definitely cause cancer, okay? Absolutely they do. This has been proven, all right? And no one still really knows. Like, how do we still not know how to cure cancer? This is crazy. How are we still doing this dance? I think that there's a lot more going on that we are just not being told. And even doctors, they're not being taught. They're not being trained. If you are this is why I don't get when people put doctors on this pedestal, and I don't get why. Because they're just people. They're humans that go to school and learn. And granted, yeah, they went to school for a lot longer than you, and they dedicated themselves to something. But it's no different than someone that dedicates themselves to playing guitar and becoming an expert at guitar. They're an expert at what they know. But if you tell them to go sit on a drum set, they might not be able to play. I mean, they might be able to, because, they might have played a few times. They might dabble in it a little, and they might know. But they might get on there and not know at all. They might not know how to play a piano. They might not know how to ride a bicycle. So just because you're really good at something doesn't mean you know everything. It means you're really good at one thing. These doctors are really good at one thing. I'm impressed at surgeons. Like, those people impress me. Because that's a skill that someone has gotten good at after repeating over and over and over and over and over. That's repetition based. That's like anything else in this world that can be impressive. It's impressive because you get good, because you spend time, because repetition makes perfection. Okay? 10 to 12,000 hours of doing something makes you an expert. That's just the way it goes. You could do anything. I don't care what it is. You could whistle for 10,000 hours. You're going to be an unbelievable whistler. You're going to be the best whistler on the fucking planet. But you can't juggle. You get what I'm saying? Maybe you don't. If doctors are being trained to look for something, then they're not being trained to look for something else. So they might not know what's going on. And I have lots of conversations with doctors. I spend a lot of time in hospitals. I'm a recovery coach during the day, so I work with people that need help, sick people, alcoholics, drug addicts, anything, or just people struggling down and out. They don't have a job, they can't figure it out, they're dying, they're hurting, mental problems, all sorts of stuff. And yeah, man, it's interesting. This world that we live in is interesting. We're being deceived by the people that are supposed to be leading us. So I don't trust these people. I just don't. And it's not that I have a personal hatred or like a personal distrust. I'm not like, I don't go to a hospital and say, hey, yo, you're a doctor. I don't trust you. You're an idiot. I don't know. I know what to expect, and I don't have high expectations because I get it. I know they went to school, they learned something, and in school, most likely, they weren't like 1,000% just, this is what I need, and obsessed in learning. Most people weren't. They went to school, they passed, they got their grades, they went out, they hung out, they made friends, they met their wife there, and their husband, and that. So there's a lot of other things going on. So you're telling me, like, you're expecting me to just put 100% faith and trust into some person I've never met. I don't know how they were in school. I don't know what they did. I don't know how they participated. I really don't. They could have scraped by, these people. I don't know. I don't know if he's even good at his job. I don't know. I don't know what he knows. I can't get into his head and know what he knows. I can only know what I know. And when you really start learning and really start knowing, you can have some confidence in what you know, and then you can have a conversation with someone and pretty much figure it out. Like, yeah, overall, I know more than this person. And I can tell based on a 2-minute conversation with them. Maybe they know more about being a doctor, but I know more than this person. So I'm going to trust me over this person, especially when it's my body and I can feel what's going on. So why won't I go to the doctor after shitting out what looks like a snake? Is because it's gone. It's out of me. I went to the doctors already years ago for being bloated, and you know what they put me on? They put me on all sorts of medication to go to the bathroom, stool softeners, and they put me on all sorts of bullshit, and it didn't work, and it actually made it way worse, because then your body gets addicted to the stool softeners, and you cannot go to the bathroom without them, because your muscles stop working. It just shuts it literally creates it so that because what's happening in your stomach is constantly shrinking and then expanding and going like this inside your intestines, all of it. So as the poop is going through, it's expanding and contracting, so it's pushing that through, so you don't have to sit on the toilet and you don't have to kill yourself. Your stomach is doing that for you. It's all doing it for you. Now, when you start taking stool softeners, it softens your stool. Your stomach doesn't have to do that expansion and contraction so much, and because your stool is just being pushed through, and your stomach starts to honestly slowly forget how to do it. And now, next thing you know, your stomach is just dead, and you have to kill yourself to go to the bathroom. So they fucked me up, the hospital and the doctors. They're idiots. And again, not all of them. But most of the ones I've ever dealt with, they don't know that much. They went to school, and again, like I said, you don't know. You weren't there. You weren't a fly on the wall for the 8 years that they went to school, okay? I spent a lot of time doing nothing, so I know that even if you're going to school for an 8-year period, you could still not be learning that much. It's incredible. I don't get why people feel so confident to just put their trust into a stranger. It makes no sense, man. Especially when we are literally taught at birth, don't trust a stranger, ever. And then as you get older, that slowly goes away. As you turn into an adult, and you're like, okay, well, that only applied to, like, don't get into little vans with puppies in them, and don't talk to strangers with candy. That's like, we're talking about kid stuff. But I think that rule should apply forever. Don't trust a stranger, especially not with your life, especially when you're the one wearing your body. Okay, it's yours, it's not theirs. You probably know it better. That's literally like living in a house your whole life, knowing how your house operates and knowing the noises of your house and when your heating system turns on, and you know the noises, you know what to expect. You're waiting for that heating system, right? You get it. It's not a ghost. The boards that crack, and when you walk by, and you know the house, you know where it floods when it rains, you know all the places, all the things. But if you put a stranger in that house for one night, and they would think the damn thing's haunted. Oh my God, the boards are creaking, and there's noises, and what is that? Something's doing. They would freak out, especially in an old house. People are going to come in and think it's haunted. An intelligent person might come in and a doctor might come in and say, oh, dude, your house is old and haunted, man. All night I heard crazy stuff. Nah, brother. It's not. It's the heating system and the creaky board, and I have a leak up there. We have a family of squirrels in the attic and the whole thing. So I personally, I trust me over anyone. I do. You know why that is too? Because I have an understanding of God, and I know that God is in me, and the only time I can really access him is when I silence myself. And that tells me that if I'm silencing myself and I can access God, then that means I have to eliminate all of the shit in order to access him, which means that all that shit that I'm eliminating is false. All of it's false. All of it, none of it's real. It's all bullshit. None of it matters. The only thing that matters is being able to silence, think, sit with self, sit with God, feel your body, understand it, understand what's going on. And like, I'm not trying to say I'm Mr. Fitness or any of that. I'm not at all. You know, right now I'm like 185 pounds. I'm probably 5'9". I don't have an 8-pack. I'm not Mr. Abs. I go to the gym and I work really hard, and I really do put in effort in, because my body is the temple, man. This is my home. This is where I live, in here. You know, so I try to take care of it because I get it. But I'm telling you, I highly recommend people learn as much as you possibly can about yourself. Learn as much as you possibly can about what's really going on, and then start to put some faith and trust back into you. You know what I mean? Stop putting faith and trust in everything else around you. You know? That's all. I love you all so much. This video is my opinion. Go to my website. Learn as much as you can. All my videos are free. I am not allowed to monetize. I've been banned everywhere. I'm not allowed to post on YouTube. I've been banned on TikTok over 30 times, literally over 30 times, over 30 profiles. I don't really post there anymore because it's a waste of time. But I've been banned a lot, and again, I'm not allowed to monetize. So if you can support me, go over to my website. You can become a member. You get my phone number. I do have conversations with people. I'm chatting with somebody right now. So, you know, and it's a massive help. I work a lot of hours a week as a recovery coach. My wife works nights, a lot of hours. So, you know, we're like everyone else, man. I don't live in a mansion. I'm not sponsored by Nike. I'm not rich and mega successful. I'm a guy that is learning as much as possible along the way and teaching people as much as I possibly can, because I believe in that. I believe that's how we learn. You know, I love you all. My opinion. I hope to see you over there.